Hello, my name's Sam from Unreal Madness. Now, today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to make a stealth game. It's going to be a very basic tutorial, and I only shortened it down for time consuming, so it's not going to have too much advanced features in it. I just want to point out that everything you see here is part of the third person example map, or example pack. Except for one thing, and that's my own character animation, which I included in this because it's for the character. So obviously sneak animation and crouch walk animation and crouch animation. Otherwise, you're just going to be running around. It's not going to look as good. So I will put a link into the description of where you can download the example pack. So you can do it at the same time as me, or you can work around it and create your own animations or use it for a different purpose. So what I'm going to do now is first I'm going to put in my character. So I named him character. I know, it's a good name. So now that we have our character in there, what we want to do is, before I start, I just want to tell you the basic looking controls, just in case you're like really new to this. So you hold right mouse button to look around, and while holding the right mouse button, use the W, S, A, and D keys to look around the map. This has become very useful, and it's the fastest way of doing it. Another thing you should know is select the types of axis controls. So you can either select them up here, or you can do it the easy way. So say W for movement, E for rotation, and R for scale. And yeah, so let's start off anyway. So let's open level blueprint and delete that. So what we want to do is we want to start off with an event begin play. And what that will do is that will only play the event once. And obviously that's when you start the level. So let's drag that off and type in possess. Now turn that off, I'm going to click possess. Now it's important that you turn on context sensitive, because it just helps you a lot, big time. So right now we've got the possess, and what this will do is when the map plays, this will send the signal to possess, which will tell the player, or tell the system, that this is the player character. So the target is, make sure the character is selected, right click, and create a reference to character. Obviously that only references the character in map, and we're going to select that into pawn. So while that is in and now target, what we want to do is we want to drag that off and type in get player controller. Now what that'll do is that will get the controller for the player, because you can have different controllers depending on different likings. But don't worry too much about that. So we want to compile that, and we want to play it. So this is the custom animation I have. I have a simple idle animation, looking at watch or something like that. Got the walking, then you got crouching, and then you got, I do apologize for that thing bugged out, my computer bugged out a bit, and a simple attack animation. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to bring out the third person character. Just type in third person character into the search box here, and you will see it here. And what you want to do is you want to simply drag that to the scene. Now right now if we play this, he's not going to do anything. He's just going, because there's nothing, he's not programmed to do anything, of course. So we're going to have some fun and program some animations in. Oh god, I didn't notice this before, but my character is taller. Taller. Oh no, okay, so anyway, let's start. So what you want to do is you want to select the character, and you want to edit third person blueprint. And if the event graph is not showing, say if it's like that, just click event graph here and it'll pop back up. So what you want to do is you want to have the event tick. If you don't have the event tick, right click and type in event tick. And what the event tick does, it constantly sends impulses to the commands. So what we want to do then is we want to drag it off, and we're going to have a multi-gate. So you want to type in multi-gate, press enter, We want to select that to loop because we want to constantly loop it. And what this does is this allows us to separate the command sequence. So it makes it neater in a way. So all these will fire at the same time. It just makes it a bit neater and a bit more control. So we're going to be using 3 outputs. So make sure you add an extra pin. So for the middle, let's try middle. So let's do middle. So what we want to do is we want to have a branch. And we want to leave it out there. Right now, for the condition for this, is stored in another character. So we'll leave this for now and we'll move on. So you want to do true, and you want to type in another branch. Just so you know, the branch is basically an if statement, and the condition is the reason. So if the condition comes back as true, then this will go to true. If the condition comes back as false, then it will move out as false. So now we got that set up. What we want to do is we want to add a detection box, and what this will do is this will allow it's going to be a basic detection box, and this will allow the enemy to tell if a player is in front of him or not. Okay, we want to make sure that his bottom half is empty because we're going to be inputting some triggers into the map, and we don't want them interfering with the box whatsoever. So I think that's quite reasonable, maybe a bit wider. Perfect. We want to rename this to detection box so we can easily understand this. So right now, for this condition, we want to drag it out, and we want to type in is overlapping actor, and we want to do detection box. And what this will do is this will detect if the player, so the is overlapping actor is basically the target of it, which is the box. So if whatever enters the box, and other is the object entering the box, so it only overlaps. So say if two enemy characters overlap, then it's not going to trigger the attack sequence. So let's drag this off for other and type in get player character, and so basically it's basically if player is overlapping box, and if that is true, then what we want to do is we want to drag it off and go down for another branch. For this branch, we're going to create a boolean. And what a boolean is basically a true or false. It's still like an if statement, but it's still a condition. So what you want to do is you want to go down to here, and you want to select variable plus variable, and we want to name this alive. And what this will do is this will test to make sure that the player is, or the character is alive. Because the last thing we want is when we're playing is kill a character, and if the trigger box that was attached to a character still interacts with us, and then that will get us in trouble. So we want to select alive, so that's alive, and if we're still alive, then we want to drag it off, and then we want to get another branch. Oh, sorry, not another branch. A simple move to actor. As you can tell, name is simple move to actor. So it's basically like a simple sequence of moving the character to the actor. So with this now, we want to get the controller. So just drag off, get controller. And then for the goal, we want him to go to the player character. So get player character. So you've got branch, you got branches set up, you got gear move, simple move to actor, compile. Another useful feature of this is the compile feature, and what that does is that allows you to make sure that the code is right before you before you play it and find out that it's all jumbled up. A good example for this is if I create a variable called that and I bring it in. Let's replace it. And then let's delete this. Okay, I shouldn't do that. I'm trying to think, how can I mess this up? This should create a warning. Here we go, an error. So it will tell you something's wrong, and it will, whatever the issue is, it will overlap an error. Underneath here is the compiler result. So if you got a big, massive like graph code, and you don't know what is affecting it, you can see here, and you can select target, and it will highlight it, which is very useful. So let's connect these back up. Okay, now let's try it. Nothing happens, right? I bet you're wondering how I screwed up. Now, what we need to do is add in a navigation mesh, and what this does is this basically allows the actor to move around the level, and it will also prevent them from entering specific areas of the map, if you want it to anyway. So if we type in nav into the top left here, nav mesh bound volume, and we're going to drag that out. You want to press R, and you want to hold the middle so all three of these are selected and drag out. There we go, that's big enough. So now when we play it, why you refuse? Oh, that's wrong, haven't I? Oh yes, that reminds me. Well, for the alive, we need to make sure that it is set to true. So compile, then click alive in the variables tab and set to true. I was wondering why that wasn't working then. And don't forget to make sure it's connected up. My bad. There we go, and there we go. We have a nice little buddy now following us. Hey, buddy. He may nudge you. Okay, so now that is set up, which is kind of tidy. We just want to add one more bit of one more command onto this code, and we're going to create another variable for this. And this will be something that's going to be used later in the tutorial. We want to name it trouble. So if the player is in trouble. So if we do set, click, and what that'll do is that set the boolean to trouble. So what we got so far is we've got the event tick, we got the multi-gate, and then we got the branch. We're gonna fill this branch up later, so don't worry about that. And then we have another branch, which is the overlap actor, to ensure that the character is actually overlapping the box and not another object. We move on, and we got another branch which is alive, just to make sure, just to check to make sure the enemy is alive. And then we got the simple move to actor, which basically commands the character to move to the player. And then we have this set to trouble, so we know what to do later. Okay, now let me just think for a second. Actually, let's do it now. We're going to move on to the character blueprint right now. Character. I want to edit the blueprint. And we want to add a new variable and call it can they see player. Make sure the little I is ticked. This enables it to be seen by other blueprints. So if we go back here now, okay, so after we've done that, what we want to do is we want to get the boolean from the character blueprint. Now to do this, we need to cast to that blueprint from the third person. So what we want to do is you want to make some room, drag off from the event tick and type in cast to character. We want to make sure it's character 2, as that's what our character is. Select. Right. Then when you want to drag off and you want to get player character. Now this should work nicely. It does. Good. Now drag it off and type in get can they see player? And what that does is basically picks out the boolean, this boolean here, that has been stored in the character to blueprint to the third person character blueprint. And then what you need to do is just need to drag that to the condition. Now for this, we just need to make sure this is ticked, just for the time being. So I believe that is all we need to do for this at the moment. So for the next bit, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding the kill the enemy character. Well, I don't know what you call it, the part of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the multi-gate and we're going to drag off a new line. And what we're going to do, we're going to use a branch. And for this branch, we want to type in actually no, let's go to the viewport first. What we want to do is we want to add a new collision box. So we type in collision box collision, add it. We want to name this kill box. And what this will do is this will basically say if the player is around this area and he activates it, the character will die while displaying the animation. So what we're going to be doing is just make sure this is a reasonable size. We don't want the player from acting it from too far away. We don't want the player getting too close. So let's drag it over here. Beautiful. There we go. So now if we do that, what we want to do is we want to drag this out and do is overlapping actor. Make sure context sensitive is on. And we want to do is overlapping actor kill box. Now as I discussed this before, obviously target is the box and we want to do get player character. Beautiful. Okay, so next part is to create another branch. So if that is true, we're going to create another branch. And from this condition of the branch, we are going to pull off another boolean that is stored in character 2, which is the crouching, for the crouching animation. So we want to make sure the player is crouching for the assassination. So if we just click here, drag it off, and type in is crouching, and we want to get that one right there. Oh no, wait, it's not that one. We want to get that one there. So make sure it's the crouching and not the crouched. So what we want to do is we want to drag that over and just connect it up. And what I'll do is, so basically what we've got so far is the line goes out, goes into the branch, basically true or false if statement, is overlapping, is the character overlapping the box. If it's true, then it will go true and it will go to this branch here, which makes sure is the player crouching. And then true from that is we want to go down and create another branch, and we want to again drag it off from the cast character because this is another boolean we're going to be getting, and type in is attacking and do get is attacking. We're going to drag that back over here and we want to connect it up there. So is character overlapping, is he crouching, is he attacking? Now you don't need to worry about the attacking or the crouching phase because that is built into the custom animation, so you don't need to worry about that. So what we now need to do is so now what we need to do is we need to basically set the death sort of scenario for him. So for this, what we're going to be doing, we're going to be dragging off true, and we want to make him fall to the ground lifeless, like there is like no hope for him whatsoever. So if we do set simulation physics and make sure it's the mesh, and we want to click simulate. After that is done, if we go to Trouble. Bring out Trouble. No, not Trouble. Bring out Alive. And get that. Oh, sorry. Bring out Alive. And set that. And make sure it's not ticked. Bring over the line over. Connect up. So, is the character overlapping the area for attacking? Is he crouched? True. Is attacking? True. And then it will set the simulation for physics simulation. Basically fall to the ground. I'll show you now. So if we compile that, make sure it's all good, and start it. Nothing. Now if we do this. Okay, the character falls too quick. So what we're going to do is, just after the branch, just before the simulate physics, we're going to add in a delay. So we type in delay, and we want to make this say, I don't know, 0.5. What let's do is put through delay. It will go through the delay and delay it until it reaches this. So let's compile that. Let's try it. For behind. There we go. That looks much better. Okay, it's good. So now that is set up. We want to move on to the next feature, and this feature will be what happens if the player detects, or sorry, if the character detects the player. So if we drag out pin 2 down here, and again we want to create a branch, and for this branch we want to use the Boolean trouble. So just bring that out and select get. Drag it in, and if that is true, as trouble is set, then we want the character to initially speed up. The default running time is... Oh no, we haven't set the time yet, have we? We want to set the running time so because when the character walks around the map, we want them to be slower than running speed. So we'll set this anyway. We want to do set max, what is it? Set maximum, set max walk. Oh yeah, we have to do this, don't we? We'll add the components tab, drag down, select character movement, drag it down, drag that off. Then you want to type in set max walk distance. Max walk speed, sorry. So with this, we want to set it to 600. 600 is the standard. So it's basically what the character is at now. While we're on the same note, if we select the character movement, and we drag this down here, and we want to set the max walk speed to, I'm thinking 300, half the speed. So I'd say tick on that. So if that is true, it will set a max walk speed to that. Then it will go down to another branch, and this will be the box to catch the enemy player. So if the enemy catch the player, so if the player walks into this box while the character is after them, they'll get caught. So let's create another box. Box collision, beautiful, and we want it to be front. You never know. Around about that will do fine. Then what we want to do is on the condition, we want to drag it off and type in is overlapping actor. Let's say box for the moment, and let's change this to catch box. just call it catch box. Sorry for the names. It's been quite a long day. So for other, we want to type in get player character. So when that is done, I think we should have a nice little like delay because we don't want it to react conveniently. So we'd say like something like I don't know, 2 seconds. So we've got is overlapping actor. If it's true, then it will go down to, then it'll open. So if that is true, what should we do? I reckon we should open level. So type in, right click, open level. Change it to level name, which will be up here. So if it's different, just change it to that. Yeah, that should work now. I don't see any issues. Let's try it out. Okay, good. Might want to change it to 1 second now. Let's try it out. 0.5. Just try it till like it. Okay, good. So I can still take out the player without, just, that happens sometimes, without triggering the box. Okay, so I believe we have all that sorted now, so we shouldn't really worry too much about that now. There is one thing though I want to do, and that is, because we're using a trigger box mechanism, if there is like a wall in front, they can still see past it. So what I'm going to do is we're going to create a trigger box, top left here. Select trigger box, drag that out on the map, and you want to click on blueprint, just add. Name it safe zone. Create blueprint, and it will open up a box like this. Don't need to worry about anything like that now, or any of this. Okay, so now we're in this. Now we're in our safe zone, or safe zone event graph. What we want to do is we want to right click, type in event begin overlap. Yeah, event actor begin overlap. And what that would do is when the character overlaps the trigger, it will send a signal from here. So it'll begin this basically sequence. And what we want to do is we want to drag it off and type in branch. So we want another branch for it. So with this, we want to do is overlapping actor. Make sure that this is selected, otherwise it won't properly work. And we want to do get player character. So when the player character is overlapping this, actually, delete event actor begin. Let's just do an event tick. I just thought a more efficient way of doing this now. So if the player is overlapping the actor, what we need to do is type in a event begin play. So what we're going to be doing now, we just need to cast to our character. So cast to character 2. Drag it down here. And then off this, we need to type in set can they see player. So what that doing, just cast it to the character and just connect it down here. And we're going to set this. So if they can see player, so if we're overlapping, they can't see us. So just Control C, Control V that, copy and paste, and then select that. So if they can see player, then target would be that. Yeah, so if we're not overlapping this, or the collision box, then it will be then they can see us. So think that's all we need to do for that. So drag that off. Here it is. So drag that up. I set it so it's quite wide. Actually, it's quite high. To test this out, we can just do it this way. So let's try it. Ah, right, that's why. Obviously, you can't go into it if the character sees it. So, okay, so we're safe. So if I walk towards the character, then, yeah. So if I leave the zone, it cancels it and they can see me. If I enter the zone, they cannot see me. So this will provide useful is if we use this, scale it down, scale it up a bit, go down, I want to set the safe zone to be there. So we modify the safe zone there. We can then modify that a little bit more with the safe zone. We want to bring up the blueprint for the safe zone, and we want to add in another little thing. Reason being is any hiding zones, the player really should be crouched. So actually, reconnect that back up. Drag the event tick out. Type in branch. Type in true. Yeah, okay, it's true, so it's true. We want to just drag. So this is another boolean from the character too now, and type in get is crouched. No. Get is crouching. So that's basically telling me if the character is crouching or not. And this is stored in the character 2 blueprint right here. So back into safe zone, which we want to do it. So if we test this out now, actually I just need to add one more thing. Just so it doesn't bug out a bit. Okay, so let's try this out. So if I crouch, enemy cannot see me. But if I stand up, he sees me. So now that works perfectly fine, which is I'm more than happy enough for. So, you know, I can easily sneak past the enemy this way. Oh, he saw me. And he's got me. So it resets the level. So now that we have that set up, I think we're pretty much set now. I believe we are set now, perfectly. So with this now, what you can do is, if you really want to, is organize this. So up here you have def. So if we just highlight all that, right click, type comment, we'll add a comment to the selection. If we type in then in the comment text def seek, just yes Q. We change that to green. Reason being is what I like to do is if whatever's completed and we know it works, set to green. Anything that needs work, orange. Anything that doesn't work is red. So right now that's fine. That does not need any more work. So with this now, drag that down middle, because this is the detection phase. So we right click that and type in comment. Drag that up a bit and detection. We'll change that to green because it is done. And then same down here. Right down, type in comment. And we want to type in this bit down here is attack. Okay, that's good. So right now you have the def sequence, the detection sequence, and you have the attack sequence. So now that is all set and all ready to go. So what we're going to be doing now is, you can do it for the whole rest of blueprints if you want. I'm not going to this time because the blueprints to me aren't that massive. So what we're going to do is now we are going to go to File, select New Level, let's select Default. Go on, we save changes. So with this now is this is where the easiest part and the most fun part comes in. So what you're going to do is you're going to design a level. So if we drag this out, and if we go to BSP, always use BSP for your level, and never basic, because BSP you can modify the mesh and set the alignment for the textures. So if we select a BSP box, bring it down, bring it side, bring it down a bit more, make it a bit smaller, and we want to make it quite large. What you want to do then, if you're going to content, type in character, which will bring out your character, and then make sure that's above the floor so it doesn't get stuck. Click here. Oh no, sorry. Click on blueprint and click on open level blueprint. Event begin play. We want to do possess. Obviously with possess, then we click that. Character selected. So create reference to character. Get player controller. So the event play begin play possesses the character. So that is sorted. We can do this. Yeah, I think that's all we need to do for now. So with this now, we can easily set up a map. So let's create like a basic, like I don't know, like a maze or map, or I don't know what to call it, to be honest. Drag it up. Don't worry if it looks too dark. Yeah, that will be sorted in a bit. Well, automatically, technically. So we got that. We want to copy and paste. So Control C and Control V. If you can't do that, just right click and select. Where's that function? Okay, there should be a function here. Oh well. Just Control C and Control V. Control C is to copy, Control V is to place. So just redo that again. Press E for the rotation, and we want to make it 90 degrees. Control C, Control V that again. Now we want to make a nice little door. So in this BSP thing, the box, you got an add and you got a subtract. A subtract takes away from the BSP that is already there, and add adds it on, of course. So we want to drag that off. We want to have it here. We don't want it that wide. Our character is a bit tall. One thing to make sure, because the floor is also BSP, just to ensure that it is not technically on the floor. So drag it in, makes a nice little open way for us. Maybe a bit wider. There we go. So copy that, bring that out here. Copy that wall. So basically just rebuilding the map. You can build the map whichever way you like. It's pretty much like just put down some boxes, set it up. So you got that there. I'll copy this, drag it over here, drag it there. shorten it. Oh, it's going to be a very basic thing. So anyway. Okay, so now that we got a nice little basic scenarios hooked up here. So what we're going to do is let's scrape a little mission, shall we? Now this is the fun part. The fun part about this is if we type in the fun part about this now is that we don't need to do any more coding except for a few little bits and bobs in the level blueprint, such as location for the character to walk and all sorts. So besides that, it's pretty much a drag and drop. So with this now, I don't like the name third person character. Let's rename it to guard. I'm a guard. Okay, tidy. So we're typing guard. So we drag out Mr. Guard. Mr. Guards look happy. Or sad. One of them too. And his job is to walk backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. So for him to make him walk, we're going to do search. We want to get a target point. So in the search bar up here, just type target point. Drag that out. We want to rename that to waypoint. So we know it's a waypoint. We'll also copy and paste that. Copy and paste. There we go. And drag one back down here. So in the level blueprint now, what we want to do is we want an event tick, and then we want a do once. And what a do once does, it only executes the command once unless it is reset. So what we need to do at that point now is right click, make sure that the target point is selected, create a reference to the target point, and then you want to drag that off and do a simple move to actor. With the controller, you can do get controller. Okay, now what we want to do is we've got the wrong one, so we need to do move to actor to location or actor. So we want to right click, move to location or actor. We want to drag that over to connect it. With this, drag that over to the side, and we want to get actor location. And what that does is that will just that will change the actor. It will tell. It basically gets the location of the waypoint, and turns it into a vector. So we connect the vector up, and we also want to connect up the object. We don't need to mess around with anything like these. With the controller, we need to do get AI controller. So we spread out a little bit more. Drag this end into this end and this end into that end. And we need to do a cast. So we do cast to, I think it's guard now? Yeah, guard, cast to guard. So we want to cast to the enemy character. And the reason we want to do it, we want to cast it to him because he has the controller for him to move about. So I think we can get away with this. If we left click on the guard, right click to create a reference, connect that up. Okay, that doesn't like it, but that's fine, don't worry about it. If we connect the guard to controlled actor, so what it'll do, it'll get the controller, and it will turn it into an AI controller, and then it will do a move to location. So on move finish, we want to have a delay, so we want him to wait there for quite a bit. So if we have a delay of about, I don't know, 5 seconds. So we want to have him to have a delay of 5 seconds. So after he's done that, we want him to move back. So if we select the other waypoint now, which is this one here, want to right click, create a reference, drag that off, and do a move to location or actor. Drag that off again, get actor location. connect that up, and for the controller we can just connect up there, connect up to the Get AI controller. So after that we need to connect this up, and we want to have another delay, so copy and paste the delay function, and after it's completed we want to reset it so it fires again. So let's test it out. It will be a warning, but don't worry about it. It's meant to. It'll work. So if we wait, or if we peek, oh wait, I think he's waiting. Alright, we forgot to add in a nav mesh box. It's one of those things that you tend to forget most of the time. So we just add in a nav mesh box. There we go. That should fix it nicely and done. Oh, wait a minute. I'm running. I was walking. Okay. So right now he doesn't see me, and I hope he does not see me. Why is he refusing to run back? Oh, okay. Alright. I do apologize for that. I made a mistake. I didn't grab the correct waypoint. I meant to select waypoint 2. So connect out to target, compile and play, and that should work now. One thing we can change is just change the delay to about 3 seconds. So compile, play. Let's try it now. Let's try it now. Walking out, enemy character that, fall back. Wait, 1, 2, 3. There we go. See if we can sneak up on him. There we go, he's out. Okay, so now that the basic waypoint is set, I think we should texture the map. You know, I don't like this texture one bit. So let's select all the walls, because I want the walls all to be the same texture. I'm thinking brick. Try brick. So once you selected all for the 4 walls, you want to press Shift and B, and that will select all of the sides. And if you go down to the right here, it should have surface materials. Click that and type in brick. Let's type in brick. Let's type in like, I don't know, bevel, I suppose. Okay, that should disappear. Why you no disappear? Okay, there we go. Right now, obviously, if you have a look, it's horrible. I mean, look at that. Oh my god. So what you want to do is you want to go down to I can't talk today. Want to go down to this over here and click on alignment, and you want to click align surface planar wall. I can't talk today. I don't know why. And that will make it pretty neat and pretty cool. You want to do the same for these. So type in brick, beveled. Brick beveled. Do the alignment to the wall, but for the top and bottom, what you want to do is you want to click one and then hold Control and left click the other, and you want to do floor. Reason being is it doesn't like it so much. So okay, let's change the floor as well. Let's change it to like concrete. Let's do concrete poured. That'll do. Just change it to floor so it makes it not so wide and textury and all that stuff. So okay. So what do we want to do now is basically what we want to do. We want to have like sort of like a stealth mission. So we want to theft. So we want to create like something. So if it's hard to explain, I do apologize. So with this sphere here, I'm gonna drag that up. We're gonna do like create, you know, steal this and get back, and you won the game sort of scenario. So we have a ball. Let's make the ball chrome. Because why not? Why can't we have a chrome ball? We also want it to be on a box. So if we have like a box here, drag that up, drag that down, go forward, no, go side actually. Basic shape material, what should we have the box? No, we could just have an oak box. Make that smaller again. Okay, so for this now, what we need to do is we need to create a trigger box. So we want basically allow the player to pick up the ball. So if we create a trigger box and put it around here, or a box trigger, or whatever you want to call it, put it around here. Try and line it up. Press R, then scale it out a little bit. And what we need to do then is open level blueprint. And we're going to do event tick as well. So actually no, we don't. Right click, press F, and what this will do is when the F key is pressed, it will do the function that's going to do now. So what we want to do, what we do is want to do F branch, and then we want to include a condition, and we want to do is overlapping. Are we not allowed to do that anymore? Are we really not allowed to do that anymore? It is overlapping actor. And select that and then connect it up with a boolean. And type in get player character. So okay, so that's set up. And we need to do if true, F is it overlapping? If it's true, then what we need to do is type in, actually click the orb, make sure the orb is clicked, right click, create a reference, and you want to do toggle visibility space. You want to select that to true. With that, then you need to, okay, yes. So after we've done that, we want to basically tell if we have the object. So we go to our character blueprint now, and if we create a boolean, do we actually, let's not create one there. Let's not. Let's go back to the level blueprint and create a variable here. Do we have orb? Okay, awesome. So after toggle visibility, what we can do is we want to drag out, select set, click tick. So what I'll do is then when F is pressed, it will check to make sure, see if the players overlap in the area. It will then go into toggle visibility, so orb will disappear, and it will set the boolean to we have orb. So we have the orb. Awesome. After we stolen the orb, we're going to need to get back. So if we go back to the level, go over here. Let's check this to unlit for now. We want to make a trigger area. So we're going to drag that out, just make that a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. Awesome. for this, we can... Yeah. So for this one, because the enemy players won't get into this area, we can do it a different way to the other times we have done the triggers. So if we do an on, type in on actor, begin overlap, which is the trigger box 2, and after that we want to do a branch. Do we have orb? Yet. So if we have orb success, then we want to basically, it's complete level, so open level. So it could be the next level, it could be the same level over again. One thing we're going to do though is save the map, which we should have done before. Just save it as new map. Select new map, just to show that it works. Yes, that should work now. So wait, is that error from yeah, it's fine. So we play it now. Try and take him out. No, no, don't turn around. Yes, got him. So we got to us now, the orb. Press F, we got the orb. So as we're now retreating back, we can stand up now, I suppose, but it doesn't move any faster. And it resets it. Tidy. So as it's set up, but say, tell you what if there was 2 guards, or maybe more, or maybe just some idle guards, or anything like that. So if we copy this same guard, move it over. So say if we had him originally guarding a door, or maybe if there was 2 guards walking about and you didn't want to take him out, or there was an issue and you couldn't take him out because another guard was watching him, then what you can do is, if you create a new BSP box, brand new stock of lamb chicken. So if we create a new BSP box, yeah, it'll work. And I'll have it like maybe a bit thinner. And if we have another one there, and do you remember that safe zone thing we used? So if we use safe zone, it's the safe zone box, drag that in there, place it down, and we want to just widen it up a bit more. Make sure it covers the whole box area. So, right. Go in here. You should not be able to see us. Steal the orb. Get back. Get out of there. And there we go. We have just won the game without killing the guard that was walking, or injuring, or knocking out. The only thing really left to do is to build the lighting, and what this does is it basically builds the shadows and all of that stuff, so it basically looks nice. You see what I mean now after it's done. It shouldn't take too long. Okay, so after that is being built, if we just quickly just Google it, and you see now that it's nice and shadowy, correctly shadowed from the sun. So I don't want to make a move here because it will see me. Take out the guard. Walk along. Stay in here. Yeah. take the orb. There we go. And there we go, we have made our escape. So basically just create a simple a simple stealth game that is a drag and drop that you can make constant number of levels of. So with the guards, if I just go guards, I can drag as many of them as I want into this level. They all have the same function, they'll all come out to get me, you know. We do this. Oh. They all come out and they all get me. And oh yeah, I forgot. It leaks to this level, doesn't it? So that's how you make a simple game. You can work on like the textures a bit more if you wanted to. Like, you know, you could have old brick on like new brick, or obviously the tops one line onto the floor. Something like that. It doesn't fit well or doesn't look as good, but yeah, so you basically make one.